Yeah, and then Tyrion, when Tyrion crosses the bridge that's near, near the Targaryen world and ends up in Hobbiton, and then we've got all these people together.
And then Gandalf shows up.
Exactly. When that happens in the show, I mean, that's going to really change things.
Season 7, right?
No, season 23.
Season 23?
Yeah, exactly. Did you not know that?
No, that's another good spoiler.
It's absolutely spoiler.
Eu estou aqui com o Will Simpson. Ele é simplesmente a pessoa que desenhou tudo. Tudo de Game of Thrones. Would you say that you are a gold mine of spoilers? Are you?
Well, I do know what happens
Well,
in season 7,
okay.
but I forget really quickly.
Oh, do you now?
Absolutely.
I don't buy it for a second. I don't believe you for 1 second.
I get given this pile of scripts, and I know they're going to change. So why should I remember any of them?
Okay.
That's it.
But when you start working for the show, would you say that you were like one of the first human beings that brought to life or brought to paper George R. R. Martin's vision, right? Have you? I'm sure you read the books, right?
I read one of them.
You're one. Just one, the first one. Yeah, and that's it.
Because I kept getting given the scripts. So the thing was, when you read the scripts, you knew what the season was, and it was basically the book. I mean, I bought 3 books,
Okay.
but I only got to read one because I read the scripts first and realized there's no point in me reading the book. So the thing was, that happened for season 2 and happened for season 3. So I realized, George, I'm not buying any more of your books because I never get a chance to read them.
Oh, you told him that on his face.
No, in my head.
Oh, okay.
He may have felt it psychically, I don't know, but it was in my mind, I cannot buy these books anymore. And of course now we've gone past his books.
Yeah. So that's
But
pretty good.
I met George. George is a lovely man. I did a drawing of him. He has a drawing of mine on his wall somewhere, or
that's
maybe,
pretty cool.
or else he might have thrown it away. I don't know, but it does exist somewhere. It's out there, So
I'm sure he kept it.
I hope he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
yeah, no,
But
he's lovely.
But have you ever thought that you were one of the first human beings that brought to life his vision? That's pretty cool.
It's really weird because at the time we started, you see, I think it's more we helped to bring to life David and Dan's vision of George's
All
books, because the thing is, they were the guys, and oh my gosh, they're the guys that are so immersed in George Martin's storyline.
What were the scene that you saw and said, oh, they nailed? That was exactly like a Drew.
Well, I know that right back at the beginning, whenever I worked with Tim Van Patten doing the opening sequence where we get to the White Walkers for the first time. Now, I got to design the White Walkers back then during the pilot, so the lovely thing was trying to create this scene that leads us right to that point and trying to work. I mean, we had so many conversations working out how much do we see of these characters, how long are they on screen? Good horror is what you don't see. So the point is that storyboard had to be pitched to the HBO executives to make sure, that everybody understood what he was going to do. And Tim, I remember the day he did it because, he'd blown up all my boards and he'd stuck them up on a wall, and he went in and I was sitting in another room, and 20 minutes later he comes out and goes, "Will, we got it." And it was like, oh, fantastic. And I do remember the first night I saw that opening sequence because a friend of mine, an editor friend, Colin Hackett, was in, and he was looking through my storyboard book that I had, because I normally compile everything into a book. It lets me keep track of things. And Colin was going through the book going, "Oh my God, it's just as you've drawn it, And I thought, well, okay, good job done. So I guess the first scene for me is it's also a monumental thing because it's the thing that's meant to catch an audience.
Yes.
We see that first scene, we are meant to be gripped. We want to see the rest. And so it's worked.
And also Jon Snow's death, because I saw the drawing for that. And it's pretty close, right?
I think it looks pretty close. Yeah. But I mean, it's described really well, And yeah, there's other bits you see. That's a big dramatic moment. Nobody knew what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I read it.
Yeah, that's my next question. Which was your the biggest death? Then you read the script and you have to draw, and you were like, oh my God, I can't believe they're gonna kill this character.
Well, the crazy thing, when they did the Red Wedding, and everybody else that had read the books knew that. I didn't know that because obviously I hadn't read the book. But the point is, when I read the scripts and got to that point, it was like, oh my God, this is really rough. This is terrible. But the Jon Snow death has to be the one that you're thinking, there's no heroes left. You've killed off anybody that can possibly
Yeah.
change the world here, because much as Arya was still kicking about and learning things, and Sansa was doing her bit, you didn't see them as going to be able to, to fight this world. I mean, Arya, you knew she would kill through it, but you didn't, you didn't know that any of them could lead anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So that it was a big moment. I do remember, we discussed so much about what was going to happen in the next season. It was like, myself and some of the other folks working on the show, and it was just one of those things that but maybe this will happen, maybe that'll happen. They got to bring him back. Oh my God! And it was great not knowing. I think that's the nice thing about the show. You
did ask him, Dan? Is Jones going back?
No, because when all that stuff was done, I mean, you got to realize that the show's very intensive. You work out of your own place. You come up with these thoughts. You have a chat with somebody who's very close to you within the building that you're in. You don't get to talk to anybody else because you're back working on your own stuff again. And the minute the show's over, you clear out your stuff and you disappear off into the night and start drawing Batman or something. So it's it's a whole different thing. And then you only you come back to the show whenever you start to see it on TV, or whenever you start to get asked to come back and do some artwork on it again. So.
All right, Will, thank you so much. I hope you're having a great time here in Brazil. It was great seeing you here. I was at your panel yesterday. That was great. Yesterday was the day before.
I don't know. How many days have we been here? Oh my God.
Anyway,
I can't remember anymore.
It was pretty great. So thank you so much for being in Brazil.
Cool. Oh, it's a shame we've run out of time, because there was that spoiler I was going to tell you.
What? Thanks, Will. Thanks so much.